And okay, now we're live. Cool. And yeah, folks will. I'm sure some folks will be, joining us in just a few minutes. Um, but yeah, we just my younger brother is over, and so we're he's having a little bit of a personal crisis, and so we said come on over, and I told them they're welcome to join us as long as they come in quiet. Um, so we'll see if they get brave enough to come in here.
Was he the one with the cat?
Yes, this is my brother who has the cats, and also gave us Jane, and has the offspring for his ringtone. So it's the same one. So, yeah, he might as well come in here. He's almost kind of a peripheral part of everything, but I don't know. He's Darren's talking with him right now. So hey everybody. So yay, we're finally starting. It's just been kind of a weird day, but then again, the days on the air are kind of like that. So it's you're in a big transition, and the birth of Set is considered to be kind of an unlucky day. So I'm saying it, but they're all kind of weird stuff happens during the days on the air. But
For today, I believe we are celebrating Horus the Elder, right?
yes, today is the birth of Horus, Horus the Elder, the Horror, or hair wearer, as a lot of people say it. But
I just call him Heru.
yeah, yeah. So Elder Horus, um, and there's some people who draw a distinction and say, well, Horus the Elder is a different deity from Horus Saaset, son of Isis. But I see them as being essentially the same. It's just you have different continuities. If I don't see any reason why, if you can accept that there's different continuities in comic books and stuff like that nowadays, it's really the same thing as with mythology, especially when you had people in different regions and certainly from different time periods were not as closely connected as we are with each other now. And you can pull up stuff from the golden age of comics or whatever, and go, well, what about now? So
I would also say that we deal with, in the case of Rob particularly, he's taking different forms and has manifestations and avatars, and yet we still refer to them by their name as a separate entity.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I'm just checking the comments here.
It's not exactly the same, but it is a similar situation.
Yeah. Yeah. What does Horus do again? I think Hodo and Hodo said, yeah. Yeah, and Ra Horaketi, meaning Horus of the Horizon. I'm just reading over some of the comments, and Nocturnal Witch is going to be listening, not feeling too good. We hope we get to feeling better, but and hopefully it'll sound fun. But yeah, and Horus embodies and asking the question, well, what does Horus do? The one way that I like to put it is Horus is kind of like the Luke Skywalker of Egyptian mythology. He's the hero. Now some people have tried to say that Heru and hero, the words are linked. They're not. But Horus represents, in a lot of things that people go through in different points in their life, because he assumes the roles of his father, and in being king over the living, and also in acting as the son who takes care of his parents, either officiating at his father's funeral or supporting his mother, and good triumphing over evil, things like that. So
and then there's also that bit where it's the son becoming the father, and
yeah,
then the father having the son again.
Yeah, Yeah, and that's where he links up with Min actually. So, because Min has aspects of he's Osiris, and then he's Horus. He kind of goes between those two because it's the continuity of from father to son. And so that's what he does. And so it's very cool that I actually have a statue of him now because that's one that I picked up at the Ramesses exhibit. Now it didn't look like that originally. I went and I painted him. So, but yes, we have Horus now. So yay. But, Ring of Justice. Yeah, so isn't Horus associated with war? Um, well, it can be, in terms of, again, that rising up to challenge evil and to triumph over it, you know. But
in a sense.
yeah, of course, also you had another falcon-headed deity named Montu, who was very much a deity of a god of war. And what's interesting is in the Middle Kingdom, Montu merged with Ra, and so you'll see, from the Middle Kingdom, you'll have image reliefs of a horse, like a falcon-headed deity with two plumes and then a sun disk in between them. That's Montu Ra. Yeah.
Well, how many falcons please stand up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so well, it's kind of like that intro that we did for how do we tell Horus and Ra, it's an Egyptian deity smackdown. Yeah, Darren did the whole thing. It's an Egyptian deity smackdown between Horus, the sun god with the falcon's head, and Ra, the sun god with the falcon's head. Wait a minute. Yeah. So, and of course the trick is to look at what are they wearing on top of their head, because Horus has the two crowns, of United Egypt, and Ra has the sun disk. So that's a good way. Look for the sun disk. That lets you know that he is a fun god. Yeah. So.
What was it? Sokar could make a big of an appearance and confuse people too.
Yeah, of course. The big hint with Sokar is he's a falcon, but remember he's wearing the same crown that Osiris does, the white crown with the two plumes on either side. That's what lets you know it's Sokar. So that's the quick lesson for the birth of Horus. So let me go ahead and get that going, and so I don't know, they're probably going to stay out front. You might hear them in the background, but excuse me. As I was just saying, my brother, the same brother that you heard the Offspring as his ringtone a few weeks ago, he's over. Darren's entertaining him right now. So
Darren's trying to get away from the water.
Well, I don't know. The waters will catch up with him. And these cool waters are upon my hands, and they purify me, as Tefnut purifies me. Hail unto you, Nochiru. I come unto you without falsehood and without evil. My purity is upon my hands, purity is upon my heart, and I've cast out all evil that pertains to me. Iwabkua, 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 I am pure. It was not as hot today. We have a reprieve until after New Year's, and then, it's going to be hot again. So. And of course, it's appropriate. We offer the you'll notice, of course, with the candle, and then with all of the other offerings, those are symbolically the eye of Horus, because, of course, in his fight against his uncle, he lost an eye. It was damaged. That eye can represent the moon, which waxes and wanes. It's full and healthy. The full moon, but also it has come to symbolize restoring things to wholeness and dispersing evil. And so that's why we have the candle and then all these other offerings, because that's a very powerful symbol. And I would posit that if there is something that is an appropriate symbol for Kemetic faith, it's not the Og, it's the Eye of Horus. Because it's so significant in what we do. So we welcome the Eye of Horus. Let's say, come in peace. Bright Eye of Horus. Come in peace. There we go. Receive the light. The Eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light. The Eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light. The Eye of Horus comes to the four corners of the world, to everyone who is tuning in now and in the future. The Eye of Horus comes, and we are purified with it. Receive the light.
Receive the light.
Now we welcome Cyrus, of course. And now Horus. And Sekhmet, and in a lot of spells, Horus is actually, referred to as the sprout of Sekhmet. So, which kind of suggests that she sort of took him, took him in and helped to take care of him as he was growing up. And so, just as she protected Horus in spells, especially for the new year, we ask Sekhmet, to look after us and protect us and to keep us whole and sound for life. You arise in the Aketis Capri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duant. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven and Duant. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from Nun at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, and hail and praise unto you, O Horu, you Nutcheru, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness, and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out his fet. May you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, and through these days upon the year. Your protection being before us, your strength being within us. Take these, the cool waters which are the inundation. They may cool your hearts. Ahoru, Oyunuchiru. These waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood, Oyunuchiru, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. We give you incense, great of purity. This incense is the eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. It cleanses you. It adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. This incense is the eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread, your produce, on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, so Yunuchinu. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. Gardens prosper, and Hapi rejoices, overflowing with his meal. We fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, O Horu, Yunuchiru. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth open libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine, and your water. Pure, pure is Ra Horakete within his house. Pure, pure is Horu, the great, the elder, within his house. Pure for the cause of all of these Nichiru, this good myrrh that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance, thousands of offerings, all things good and pure, for the cause of all of these Nichiru, in every place that their immortal cause dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horaketi. Come to your body, O Horu. Come to your bodies, O Yunuchiru, and come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these your offerings, and partake of them. Come, O people, raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra, before Horu, for Osu. All life comes from them. All health comes from them. All stability comes from them. All good fortune comes from them, as it has since the first time. Hora Horketi, and your son, the Osir Nisu Nekebrura. Your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. Turn yourselves to these, your offerings, and receive them from our hands. And just as Horus is the good son who takes care of his father, including taking care of his memorial offerings, we remember our blessed dead. Light this candle that it may be the eye of Horus for them, that lights their way into light. And we bring them these cool waters from the table of Osiris, that their hearts may be refreshed. Orekeru ta henket kakao abdus nachirmahat kutnebe nafra wabet alket nachirim and kawan aku kunibu maker nibu kirnachirama. A voice offering, bread and beer, 1,000 of beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things of which God lives, for the cause of all of these aku, all true of voice before the great God. And because it is the days on the year, let's see, have another sow, another protection against the plague of the year. And this one, the original translation for the word that I'm calling anathema, I think they had abomination or boot, but I think anathema is a good one for it because of the way it works. So it says, I am the anathema that has come forth from death, Meskenet, which has come forth from Inu. Men, gods, Aku, and dead ones, keep away from me, for I am the anathema. In other words, it's saying, hostile people, hostile spirits, be they Aku, transfigured spirits, or the malevolent dead, or deities that might, not have the most friendly of intentions. They were saying, keep away from me, for, I'm something you don't want to touch. And this is our one more protection against the plague of the year. But also, we honor Sekhmet, who controls the arrow demons, which are considered to be, running loose at this time of year. And so, hail Sekhmet the Great, Eye of Ra, who hides him within her iris. Hail Sekhmet, sovereign, mistress of light, who moves in brightness. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of darkness, at whose setting the dusk comes. In peace, Sekhmet, mistress of fear, whose seal brings death. Hail unto you, Sekhmet, daughter of Ra, who loves Ma'at, who detests Sisfet, most holy of the gods, one seeks life in you. And I'll read a couple of things for Osiris and then for Horus, as there's a prayer in the back of his candle. Hail, Osir, Lord of Duat. And by the way, this is original to me. This is not something historical necessarily. Hail, Osir, Lord of Duat. Your feet rooted deeper than oceans, your crown reaching past the stars, your hands gentle, open as a father's. Vast as your mother Newt, strong as your father Geb, loving as your sister Asit. Cool waters flow from you, green plants spring forth from you. Your grain sustains those upon the earth, your Ka sustains those in the west. Hidden are your mysteries, yet they are destined for all. All who live, they come to you. All who breathe, at last speak your name. And for Horus, got something in here. There we go. Hail unto you, O Horus, defender of your father Isis in support of your, or defender of your father Osiris in support of your mother Isis. And on this day, the son of Nut as well. You are the champion of Ra who destroys his wicked foes. Lofty one, falcon of the horizon, shining like gold in the dawn. You establish Ma'at in her place. You rule the living on earth, as your father rules those in Duat. And we got a few prayer requests. Of course, our friend Jory, he's been dealing with some depression, and I know he's not the only one. And I know there were some folks that asked for prayers for courage, the strength to face the new year, and to be able to make it through this transition. And I ask that for all of us. And if anyone else has some, just let me know. I'm going to go ahead and check the comments and see who's saying. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm going to. Okay, so Carol was asking.
Might be a good idea to mention Mahes as well, because he controls Arrow Demons and everything else we ask him for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and it's saying my connection is unstable. Oh, well, it was. Okay, it may be, clearing, but, okay. I don't know why it's doing it. Maybe because of the time of the evening and a lot of people are on, I'm not sure. But if it cuts in and out, just bear with us. And Caleb had asked who Sobek is, and someone said that spirits were probably Neat and Senui. Actually, my understanding is that Neat had Sobek herself, and there was not necessarily a father, because Neat is a creatress. Senui, if you've got, is that on? Is there an entry for them on Panadology? Because that's a really good website for looking up stuff like that. But Sobek is another deity that at one time was assimilated to Ra as well. So.
Considering they were both brothers by her too on one way, huh?
Yeah, and it's actually that song from I think it's called "Playing with the Big Boys." Yeah. Well, there's another gal, Kemetic Witchcraft, I think, her channel. She had me do a trailer for her channel using a rock cover of that song. So, I had no idea that there was such a thing until she asked me to do that. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I showed her that. She was like, awesome. And like, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people liked the original version for the same reason. But the original version, of course, still it screamed of being a part of the original story. So it's not exactly Kemetic friendly. But people liked that rock version because it kind of stands separate.
Yeah.
And it
what needs to be done in my professional endeavors. Absolutely. And yeah, hang on. Of course, I made sure to restock everything so we can do our oracle for tonight, and keep putting together our oracle for the days on the year. And of course, if you're enjoying the video, be sure to hit like, because that helps with the numbers and stuff, and we get if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that, because it helps our numbers. We got to feed those algorithms. So okay, and I've seen some cookies there, and it just, since we mentioned Prince of Egypt, and yeah, I saw that in the theater way back in the day. Eventually, I do want to write a novel and kind of tell that story, but from Ramesses' perspective and from the Egyptians' perspective, because there are so many things that have been kind of established as fact when they really aren't. It's just it all goes back to the Cecil B. DeMille version from the Ten Commandments, which is a really good movie in terms of the look and the production and everything. But and Yul Brynner's Ramesses is just wonderful. But oh yeah, look, I love getting my Yul Brynner fix. But it really doesn't reflect anything historical at all, and so once again, I think the truth is always more interesting than any kind of a yarn that we can spin. So I'm eventually going to write a book about that, but I've got to finish the big epic novel that I'm working on in science fiction first. So yeah. That's one of those great works, that you have in your life, and I'm drawing from story notes and stuff that I wrote 2 decades ago. So, it's very important that I get that finished first. But let's go ahead and ask Horus the Elder what his message for us is this year, or these days upon the year, looking ahead to next year. Well, that was unusual. He gave us 2. Wow. First time for everything. So I guess both of these get to go.
I guess that means you'll be entering both of those into your log, right?
Yes, I will. Yes, so those will both be in there, and it's I do have it here. So it's going to be going in here. So I guess from Horus the Elder and Horus the Younger. Now this first one says, each day, compel yourself to do something you would rather not do. Wow.
That might include the garbage.
Yeah, there's some Dr. Demento song about Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. But anyway, now here's the second one. Be the labor great or small, do it well or not at all.
Wow, those two go together well, don't they?
Yes. So putting them together. Each day, compel yourself to do something you would rather not do. Be the labor great or small, do it well or not at all. Now.
So yeah, we could write the same vibe we were talking. So
yeah. Now here's what's interesting is putting this all together, starting from the day of Mozit, the last day of the year, and going through. So far we have everybody is ignorant, only on different subjects. Correction does much, but encouragement everything. Each day, compel yourself to do something you would rather not do. Be the labor great or small, do it well or not at all. And it's amazing how much these flow together. But Um, that's Horus's message for us. So let me go and see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. There we go. There's all our cookies. So Kai Sobek, be very careful what you ask for. It says, ask the gods and goddesses to lay the hammer down and force me to reconnect with my Kemetic path. You don't want to ask them because you don't know what they might do. But don't. Sometimes, pressure isn't the way to do it. You may need to just kind of step back and relax and just be in the moment for a minute, and it'll come to you. Some things like that, you don't force them or they'll slip out of your hands, but if you just relax, it just comes back to you. So, okay, Kit Fox, then Daniel, then Caleb, then Kai Sobek. So, oh, Kit Fox? Also two. This is interesting. But okay. Kit Fox, enthusiasm can change the current situation. Now here's your second one. Cookie said, you really cracked me up. I think Horus is messing with you a little bit. Maybe he knows you needed a laugh. But he says, enthusiasm can change the current situation. You really cracked me up. So there you go, Kit Fox. Okay, so now Daniel. Okay. That one took a minute. Here you go, Daniel. Daniel, depend on the predictability and steadiness of life to support you. So take advantage of the stability of things. When things are going normal and ho hum, that's stability. That's a good place to be. That's your bedrock to build from. So depend on the predictability and steadiness of life to support you. Okay, and then Caleb. Okay, so here's your first one, Caleb. Don't expect to find one right way to make yourself more creative. Because there are no right or wrong answers in creativity. There's just what works for you. So it says, don't expect to find one right way to make yourself more creative. Now, there's another one to this. Exchanging compliments is intellectual back scratching. So, yes, you give someone a compliment and they'll be more likely to give you one. But, and also don't expect to find one right way to make yourself more creative. And that can hinder us sometimes. We think we're sitting there thinking there has to be the right answer to something, and you know, not realize that what you have is the right answer, you know, for that point in time. And sometimes it can change, but don't hinder yourself, especially because in school, you know, we learn that, well, there's a right answer to every question. Um, Again, some things in life, you know, there's what's right for you, and it may not be what's right for the next person. So, okay, Kai Sobek, and then sarcastic. Kai Sobek. Mm. All right, Kai Sobek, consider your impressions. Follow them once in a while. So listen to your instincts and don't second guess yourself. Consider your impressions and follow them once in a while. You know, and we can get into the habit of doubting ourselves and not listening to our instincts, and that's the fastest way to get yourself into trouble. So follow your impressions. Think about those instincts. That's what they're telling you. Sarcastic. One thing about it, they're definitely getting mixed up. No way. Sarcastic. It says, everything is perfect in the universe, even your desire to improve it. And something I feel like I need to add in with that, and someone else had asked for, you know, prayers for courage in order to change the world. Um, Remember that, you know, there's a center to that world, and it's you. That's the center of your world. Start with that first. You know, and you know, tying that in, your fortune says everything is perfect in the universe, even your desire to improve it. You know, and especially if you know, start with yourself and radiate outward. Because I get told a lot, you know, from the folks here on the altar that don't worry about what's going on in the rest of the world. Take care of your own self and your own family first, and then the rest of it, you know, will come. You know, look after yourself and your loved ones, because you can't really control. You can't control what other people are going to do, but you do have control over yourself, you know, and to a lesser degree the other people, you know, in your family. But you know, that's still a part of the world. It's not, you know, any less just because it's you see it every day. So that's I guess my sermon for the evening. But okay, so Devin and then Akira, yeah, and then Blue Conlon and Alex. Hang on, let me go ahead and scroll down just a little bit. Yeah, so Devin and Akira.
To quote back to the Prince of Egypt, there is a song in there where it's look at your life through heaven's eyes. Well, that applies through all perspectives, not just an Abrahamic one.
Yeah.
And in there it says there are pebbles at the base of a mountain. Do they think they're more important than the rocks at the top? You know, the rocks at the top think they're more
Well,
on a
they're all part of
mountain.
the
And that
mountain.
basically falls in the same way. The
Yeah.
bottom of a pyramid is just as important as the apex.
Yeah. Okay. So Devin. There we go. Devin, be willing to give the extra effort that separates the winner from the one in second place. So yeah, you have an opportunity to be the winner, to be the one that finishes first. Be willing to give the extra effort. Okay, and Akira. Akira, education will never be as expensive as ignorance. Don't worry about the student loans, I guess. Because education will never be as expensive as ignorance. But that may also mean, if you have an opportunity to learn about something, do it. Because you'll be better off learning about it than if you skip it. Whatever it is. Okay, Blue Conlon. Okay, Blue Conlon. Dogs have owners, cats have staff. This sounds like something that my pal Amy would have said. But she was very much a cat person. But there you go. Dogs have owners, cats have staff. Do you have cats at your place? Let's see. Okay, and then Alex. Let's see. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Okay, and then 9/11. All right, now bear with me. I'm just kind of scrolling over some of the comments and stuff here. Uh, that are using. Hmm. Kai Sobek, you're not the only person who's mentioned that. It's hard to read. But having ADHD, um, and I have a cousin who just got diagnosed with it, and she said, "Well, that explains why I have trouble doing the same thing." She wanted to know if I was working on putting my books in audio format, and I said, "Well, yeah, that is a plan, but I have to get them finished first." So. Because that's going to involve being in this little corner over here, spending many hours between myself and Darren, and recording some things. But Yeah, and if anyone wants, if you guys think there would be an interest in my Kemetic books as audio books, then let me know. That's something else that I can do too, because you know Darren and I are not afraid of doing a little voiceover. It's just a matter of um, penciling it into our schedule, as it were. But let's see. Okay, so I see 9/11, and who's before that? Alex. Okay, so Alex and 9/11. And hang on. Alex Knight. This, for some reason, I feel compelled to ask if that has anything is in any way a reference to Knight Rider, because Darren is a big fan of Knight Rider, and if not, then we just showed our age. But here's your fortune, and it says, constant grinding can turn an iron rod into a needle. Um, and I'm getting a really strong vibe from that, because remember, an iron rod is something strong, and it can be used as a support. But a needle, um, yeah, it can still be used for things, but a lot fewer, and it's not a support anymore. So constant grinding can turn an iron rod into a needle. Don't grind on things. You're gonna have to take a step back, relax, work on some of the relaxation techniques people were talking about, um, because you will end up taking away strength from yourself if you don't. Constant grinding and turn an iron rod into a needle. And 9/11. There we go. This one's just okay. 9/11. Don't just think, act. That was that's short, sweet, to the point. Don't just think, act. As Darren likes to say, thinking about something is not the same thing as doing it. And you have an instinct. You know what it is. It's time to go and do it. Okay. Okay, an oracle. Yeah, okay, and then nocturnal witch. Okay, so oracle and then nocturnal witch. Yeah. Basically, when you have to bear with me, because the comments tend to move a lot faster than the cookies. So I tend to be a little further back. So oracle, yeah, we're getting to you, and then we're getting to nocturnal witch after that. So,
Yeah, you pretty much do like a checklist.
yeah. Well, I almost thought about putting my brother to work and have him sit over here and read this, but he's not as strong of a reader, because he also has ADHD, and he would not be able to fit into this tiny little space that is my computer space. I'm kind of a small person, and he's a little klutzy in small spaces, so that wouldn't have worked. But okay, so oracle. Here we go. An oracle for Ori. Oracle, emptiness is the mother of all things. Wow. I'm suddenly thinking of noon. Emptiness is the mother of all things. Um, I hope that answers something for you. That's like really, really profound. But there you go. Emptiness is the mother of all things. All right, and now for Nocturnal Witch. There you go. And just hopped right out. Okay. Nocturnal Witch. Be willing to believe in anything that is good. Now, the vibe that I'm getting from that is this is not about like rushing out to, join a bunch of different groups, but looking for the positive rather than the negative. Because if you think about, in our media, we're swimming in negative. Be willing to believe in anything that is good. And if there's some ambiguity and, well, we don't know, it could be something good, could be something bad, go for the good. And choose hope. Be willing to believe in anything that is good. New DM. Oh, okay. Oh, so Kelp, so you're a dungeon. You're a DM like role playing. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Sisyphus. Okay. I'm just catching up with the comments here. Manifesting itself. Okay. Which are really big. These problems put prayer this. All right, like I said, I'm just scrolling back a little bit. Okay. Oh, it's Blue. I'm seeing with Blue Conlon, you're saying you're allergic to cats. Don't feel bad because Darren is too. Otherwise, we'd probably have a couple ourselves. And we both love cats. They're very sweet and lovable. It's just when you have allergies, you just some things you just can't do.
Certain breeds are okay for certain people. So short hair.
Black cats. Yeah, and black cats seem to be a little less, but still, because Darren has asthma, I really have to be very careful, when it comes to allergens and stuff. And I mean, we had some patchouli instance of, a couple of months ago, and that set him off. So we try to keep an allergy-friendly house, which is kind of crazy because we have a couple of ducks, but they have like their own room. So, and we love on them, but we can't let them stay out like in the house proper, other than the fact that they're kind of messy. But the down would start to get to him after a while. But yeah, I'm trying to manifest. And Mary Roy wanted to know, compiling some quotes from the wisdom literature. You want me to make them into a PDF you can print out and use for portraits? We'll have to try that. If you want to, if you want to go ahead and try that, yeah, let's see if we can do that. PDF readers, you can get ebooks and yeah, and there's supposed to be. I'm supposed to have digital formats of all of my books, and it's on Lulu. It's not on Amazon. You have to go to Lulu. And if you check the video description, I've got like a link to the print version of my book. But if you hop around on Lulu, you can find the ebooks. And like I said, if anybody, especially for folks that are visually impaired, if or if it's just difficult to sit down and read something, you'd rather hear it, just let me know if there'd be some interest in audiobooks. But yeah, and Kai Sobek, I saw what you were saying about you're going through a lot in your life, and I certainly feel for you because 3 years ago we were in that spot because I had the transmission breakdown in my car, and then Darren lost his job, and so we had all this stuff that went on at once, and it was tough, but 3 years later we're in so much better of a spot, and so if you need some help, don't be afraid to ask. That was one of the things that I learned. Because sometimes you have no idea what people, are there that love you and that are willing to help. And of course, I know that, you and your family are kind of in a spot, I'm hoping for them too, that, they can get, a leg up somewhere, so that all of you can do better. And we love you. Hang in there. Okay. Oh, for disability to be approved. And you know what? And I tell you what, Darren is very good at helping people apply for disability. Because if you get turned down for disability the first time, don't be discouraged. That tends to happen to everybody. It's very seldom that somebody applies for disability the first time and gets it. Darren had to apply 3 times and he uses a wheelchair. It's just crazy like that. If you get denied and you need to fade back and try it again, just let us know, and he can give you some pointers on what they're looking for specifically with the paperwork in order to fill it out so that you can get, because in short, the first piece of advice that he gives is when you're filling out all that paperwork, describe like what your worst day is like, because that's what they need to know. That's what's going to determine, the disability. So don't be like optimistic. Tell them, how tough it is for you to do things day to day. And that's, what they need to know. Even things that might seem like it's not your business, that none of their business. They need to know that in order to, process some stamps say, disability. But of course, that's for people here in the U.S. I know outside of the U.S. the process is different. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and I think you're hearing my brother in the background. So yeah, trying to Discord message me. By the way, let me. My username on Discord is Mr. Tommy. I need to find the it's like Mr. Tommy 17 something or other. Let me find it and I'll put it on there and you guys can message me. Besides, I need to get with you guys anyway to figure out what we need to do for the to kind of tidy up and add different channels or whatever for the Kemetic Reform Discord. So I haven't forgotten about that. It's just been really hectic, and of course we got company that I need to tend to from here. So seeing as it's an hour and 5 minutes in, yes, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead and hit me up, message me, and I will get to everyone. It just might take me a little turnaround. And I have to thank Devin for saying, hey, Kit Fox is waiting to be approved on the Facebook group. Sometimes it helps me to have little hits there. Say, okay, because I'm I feel like I'm chasing after you know husband and pets and little brothers too. So that's how it goes. So okay, if anyone else has any requests, just go ahead and put those up there before we go. But let me brush the fortune cookie crumbs off of my booklet. So, and by the way, what the plan is, and I'm gonna have to write everything out, but uh, because people had asked about these booklets, and what I think I'm going to do is when we get incorporated and people can actually join, you'll have like a one-time membership thing, and that would cover giving you one of these. So I can have that ready, and when you'd be able to join in. So that's what I'm thinking so far. But we'll hash that out hopefully soon.
When you were brushing the cookie crumbs off of your book, I heard that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yep. Or as the other fortune said, you crack me up. And that's the funny thing. I think sometimes Horus can be kind of funny like that. He's actually friendly. He can be very friendly and also very good at if you've got something that's bothering you, ask him. He can chase things away, rather effectively. So. Hail unto you, Atum. Hail unto you, Capri. You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth on the shrine of the phoenix in Unu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure as the name of Atum, foremost of the great Enid, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Geb at the Earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the Shrine of Shanit in Unu endures. As the name of Osa, Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Asset in Nicheru endures. As the name of Sutek in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pe endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti in Kamenu endures. As the name of Ra in Yaket endures, likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Horu, Osu, Ayanichuru. May you go forth in peace, O Ra, Osu, Horus, Sekhmet. May you go forth in peace, O Yunichuru, to every place your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Menjet bark, and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, brushing the cut. One of the things that I end up doing after every service is I have to take the altar cloth and then go and like shake it out and shake all the crumbs out of it. And one other thing I will read for you. This is something that I typically do after the fact because I'll leave the candles going for a minute, and then like if I happen to catch if I missed a prayer from someone or request, then I make sure to include those. But then the last thing that we do is actually as we snuff the candles out, and that part is this eye of Horus has made you great. You flourish in it. You have power in it. Oh, you know what you do. You consume this eye of Horus. That's typically when I would snuff the candle, and it empowers you. The Ujat sets in the mountains of Manu in peace. And so we'll be doing that. in just a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty, and okay, you sent on a message on Facebook. Okay, I will be looking for that. My back pain, going for physical therapy, it helps much, but it won't. Yeah. If you've got a condition that the therapy helps, but it will never be normal again, they need to know that because that qualifies as permanent disability. So yeah, just keep us posted on what's going to go with that, and if you need some help, just let us know. And in the meantime, we'll reconvene tomorrow because, of course, that's our Friday. We have our service, but tomorrow will be the birth of Set, and it's funny. It oftentimes we have thunderstorms, although I think I don't know, we might get a surprise this year. Who knows? But we will see you between 8:30 and 9 o'clock tomorrow night. So in the meantime, everybody have a good night. Thank you all for joining us. You guys be safe. Okay, and Oracle, if you might miss a lot of tomorrow, just let us know, and if you want me to pull something for you, ahead of time, you know, uh, just tell me here, and I'll make sure to pull one for you, right after we do the main one. So. Okay, let's do all this. Wait a second back. Okay, I'll do that. I'll make sure to pull one for you, Oracle. And I thought I was typing, but here we go. Try it again. Save. And all right, everybody. Big hugs. We'll see you soon. You guys are absolutely welcome. See you tomorrow.